Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bay Ridge Podcast. My name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to have you here listening in and watching on YouTube. And quick spiel about the podcast. We do these 2 episodes a month. We try and run for 20 minutes or so, and we just hit you quick with all the latest news and updates around the neighborhood. So if that's something you're into, again, please like, share, and subscribe. Send it to a friend. If you hate the show, send it to an enemy. And speaking of hating the show, someone drank the Haterade on Apple Podcasts, gave me a 1-star review. So if you have it in your heart to give me anything over a 1, feel free to do so on Apple Podcasts. Rate the show, give it those 5 stars, and it helps us keep the lights on here. And we don't have many, as you can see. So, always appreciative of anyone who hits that like button, drops us a comment. It helps us out and lets us know that you're out there. And with that said, we're just going to dive right into it and start the episode hot with, of course, the recap of Pizza Wars. So, Pizza Wars, it was Sunday, May 3rd in Bay Ridge. We started at Brooklyn Firefly and made our way all around throughout the neighborhood, really testing 12 pizzerias. And the theme of the day was, of course, Saturday Night Fever. Last year was Star Wars because it fell on May 4th. This year, Saturday Night Fever, disco theme. People embraced it. The community embraced it. A lot of great costumes, a lot of great vibes. And we're going to walk through it all. And if you subscribe to us on YouTube, I actually posted a POV, just my point of view of walking and entering all these restaurants, grabbing their square slices and enjoying them. So I just posted the highlights. I was recording here and there, and it's 8 minutes. So if you want to relive Pizza Wars in a first-person view, make sure to check out that video. And if you missed Pizza Wars and want to see what it was like, see some of the costumes, see some of the hilarity that ensued, definitely check that out. It's over at our YouTube channel, and highly recommend you take a ganders. Now, with that said, before we dive into kind of the recap, I do want to say I appreciate everyone who stopped me in the street, gave me a fist bump, gave me a pat on the back. Maybe we exchanged a handshake, and especially to the dude that said, "I love your podcast, man." Listen, this is what it's really all about. It's about this great community, and it's great to meet some of you. We chatted about Zips, reminisced about some of the old spots that are no longer here, but are always in our hearts. So great meeting a lot of you at the event. And really appreciate your kind words as we cross paths. So with that said, I just want to go over some of the numbers. So it looked like there were nearly 300 people came out. So the neighborhood showed up big time, and that's a big jump for its second year. As I mentioned, this was for the square slice. So last year was the traditional triangle. This one was all about the square. Now, there was some room for interpretation because there were pizzerias that were serving up your traditional Sicilian slice, and there were others that did a little experimentation. And either way, it's just a great reminder of how creative our pizzerias and local restaurants are, that there are so many takes of such a classic staple of food. So we're going to walk through it all. And right out of the gate, we're just going to tell you Mancini's wood-fired pizza were the big winners. And Greg is with us today. If we can throw some photos up as we discuss, we can show the different slices that each restaurant offered up. I think that would be neat. And if not, you can always follow us on the gram if Greg can't figure it out. But I think he's got it down now. So Mancini's won. And they were serving up a great vodka square with a little bit of burrata. We'll get into all of these, but I just want to give the shout-outs to the top 3. So Mancini's was crowned Best Square in Bay Ridge. Congratulations. Elegante, the reigning defending champions of last year, they came in second, and they served up a great square as well. So nothing to be ashamed of there. And coming in third was Peppino's, which, as we go through each pizzeria, you'll see that these were some of my favorites. So there were 3 winners, but really the entire neighborhood, I feel like we were all winners today because everyone came out. They came out hot, and it was such a great day for the neighborhood. So now this is the official Pizza Wars map, and I scribbled down notes as I was going through visiting these pizzerias, and I'm gonna run through them quickly so you can see what was going through my mind as we hit all these pizzerias. And again, 12 of these great pizzerias that participated. Many thanks. It was a great, amazing day for the community. So we started at Brooklyn Firefly. Now, we didn't eat here yet, so this was kind of the registration point. Saw a couple of familiar faces in the Bay Ridge community. Great to see everyone there. And you can see the Bay Ridge podcast logo, proud, standing on the event banner. So we were so happy to sponsor the event. And we kind of split off into two different groups. So one group went to Fifth Avenue, and the other groups went to Third Avenue. So we were on the Fifth Avenue loop, which is great. And then we eventually all met back at Brooklyn Firefly. So registration was quick. Everything went well. Hats off to the merchants and everyone involved for putting this event together. It ran so smoothly. Got my merch, got my free hat. Brooklyn Cyclones were representing. So, everything was organized perfectly. So well done. And I just want to go. So we started off at Elegante Pizza. Again, the reigning defending champions of last year. They're on 69th and 5th. And they were serving up a great square. I wrote down oregano forward, very cheesy, great crust, super salty. Really enjoyed that crunch of that square. And Greg, you got it up? Yes, sir. And if you watch the YouTube video, the power of editing, I forgot to upload the picture of their pizza, so you're seeing it now. Elegante, super tasty. From there, we went to Bay Ridge Pizza. So a bit of a hoof at 8 blocks. That's over on 77th and 5th. And I joke with my wife and my brother that I've always been hunting for like the perfect nostalgia slice. What we call, like, I'm searching for the 1992 vintage, like the 95 pizza slice that you had as a kid that you remember tasting so good you can eat one every day and be happy. You know, maybe it's reminiscent of an Alfredo's or a Marino's pizzeria back in the day. But Bay Ridge Pizza, this one nailed it. This was an old school Sicilian slice, a sweeter tomato sauce, pillowy dough, great crunch, and it transmitted me back to the early 90s. It was delicious, very sweet. Again, sweet, whereas Elegante was a bit saltier, this one was a sweeter sauce, and I really enjoyed it. So check out Bay Ridge Pizza 77th and 5th if you want a little taste of the 90s. From there, we hit Mancini's, and that's over on 85th and 5th Avenue. Again, this is the 5th Avenue tour we're doing. Eventually, we'll head down to 3rd Avenue. And the notes I scribbled here, it was a thin vodka slice. I wrote down Mad Fresh, and I'll upload these notes to Instagram if you want to see my pencil sketches. But Mad Fresh, I wrote down basil, and they threw a little fresh burrata on top, which was, obviously added to the deliciousness. I wrote down thin, non-traditional. I loved it. So, and they were the big winners. So hats off to them. Mancini's, you have the crown, best square in Bay Ridge, and well earned. From there, we headed down to 86th Street and 5th Avenue. That's Pizza Wagon. Of course, you know it. It's been there for almost 60 years, and you know what you're getting there. You're going to get that old school Sicilian slice, thick, crusty, great texture, super fluffy. There's a reason it's been around for 58 years. So Pizza Wagon, again, a great staple to have in the neighborhood. You know what you're getting when you go there, and it never disappoints. So good to have Pizza Wagon there. And then from there, we completed our 5th Avenue tour. So we were heading down to 3rd Avenue to visit Nino's. And before we even got there, once we hit like 4th Avenue or coming down the block, you can already hear the party pumping. So Benny and the Nino's gang, they had a DJ, they had balloons, they fully embraced the Saturday Night Fever theme of the day. And that was definitely where the party was at. So Nino's, again, I think in some of the promos, they were showing off their traditional Sicilian slice. They went with the grandma slice, which never disappoints. Grandma slice, if you've never had the Nino's pizza, it is such a great square slice, super thin, amazing crunch, great seasoning. When my kids want pizza, we go to Nino's. They love it. They love the grandma. They love the margarita. So Nino's did not disappoint. And I'll be honest, after Nino's, we were kind of like started to feel it already. We were 5 slices deep, so we took a little break, a little sweet break. We found Sweet Streets of Brooklyn was having a pop-up event at Amanda Jean. Tried to break some of that salty, savory with a little bit of sweet. Picked up a couple of those chocolate sea salt cookies, and stay tuned for the quick hits because there is an event for Mother's Day that Sweet Streets is also popping up. So great for any last-minute Mother's Day gifts if you're scrambling for that card at CVS. You know, it makes maybe you want to pop over on Friday to pick up some cookies. So we'll get into that later. Moving on the pizza route. Now we're at Nono's. They're on 88th and 3rd, and this was the longest line. I felt like I was going to Space Mountain, waiting online to get to Space Mountain. They were just packed all day, and once the pizza got on your plate, you can tell why. So instead of doing like a traditional marinara, this was fresh tomato, chunks of tomato. You can see the picture. Thank you, Greg. And very seasoned, I wrote. Great texture, garlicky, great crust, just a great square. So Nono's, very, very tasty. Love that one. Moving down just one block over, Leo's Casa Calamari over on 85th and 3rd. They were serving up like kind of another old school Sicilian slice, super cheesy, pillowy texture, great chew, just the perfect balance of tomato sauce and mozzarella cheese. That was a great Sicilian slice. Nothing but good things to say about that one. You know, it's really hard to pick on anyone here. Everyone brought their A game. Peppino's over on 77th and 3rd. This is at the point of the day when I realized that they actually had tasting note sheets on the back. I was scribbling all up front. So Peppino's, I wrote down, what I liked is they sat you down. We were walking already for a couple of 5,000 steps, 6,000 steps at that point. The host at Peppino said, hey, you know what, sit down. We'll bring the pizza to you. Give us your ticket. And I don't know if they did it just for us because the pizza wasn't ready or whatever, but I really enjoyed the hospitality. So sat down, waited for the fresh hot pie to be delivered, and you can see the picture. They actually threw a little pesto right on top of the tomato sauce and the cheese, which added a little bit of interesting flavor, great texture, nice crunch, chewy, garlic forward. This was a great slice. Peppino's. From there, we visited the newcomers on the block on 75th and 3rd, and this is Annabella Pizza Cafe. Now, they're doing something completely different here. They're doing a sourdough-forward pizza. So the crust, sourdough, I feel, became a huge thing during COVID. I felt like everyone was making sourdough randomly in their houses. So they're doing that, and sourdough obviously is a little bit better for the tummy. There's digestive benefits of it, and this was almost like a soft open. I think they had only been open for 2 days, and we met Anna herself, the owner. You can see it on the POV walking tour video. Very nice. Introduced herself. She was serving up slices with a handshake and a personal touch. So what was also interesting about this place was right inside the same pizzeria, they're serving homemade cinnamon rolls. So we'll be back there to check that out with the kiddies. But that's a sourdough square. So, we wish them all the best and welcome to the neighborhood. Next up was Vesuvio, 73rd and 3rd. This is a great spot. We've been there for dinner a few times. And they were serving up a great ultra cheesy square slice. This was a Sicilian, super thick. I wrote down mad cheesy, and I wrote down sauce is the co-star, cheese was the main event. And you can see it in the picture. Had a great crunch, fresh hot out of the oven, delicious. And then we're getting close to the end here. Frankie's of Bay Ridge. So I loved myself a little side street shop. So this was on 71st Street proper. And we got there, and they were just about taking it out of the oven. Nice, cute little place. I'd never been. They have some outdoor seating options as well. So we'll be back if we're in that area. And yeah, you can see it was just a cheese bomb. It looked like they may have used fresh mutts, and it was spilling over onto the plate. I mean, who can argue with that, And then we finally made it. After 10,000 steps, we made it to Brooklyn Firefly. This was kind of like the finish line. I felt like I needed to cross some of that runner's marathon tape to say you actually survived and made it through after 12 slices of square pizza. But Brooklyn Firefly, this is kind of when the food coma started to kick in. But yeah, it was great size, not too thick, not too thin, just the right amount of sauce, just the right amount of cheese, and they even threw a little green in there to keep it clean. So great slices all together. There's really nothing you can complain about Pizza Wars. It was a great day. Mancini's took the title, and again, as I said, even though there was only one winner or three winners, really the true winners were all of us that participated, all the merchants that made it happen, and the winner was really Bay Ridge as a whole. And Bay Ridge Podcast was proud to sponsor the event. Super great for the community, and I look forward to next year's. We're running out of pizza shapes, so we'll see what they come up with for next year. And I know that took up the majority of the episode, so we're just going to stick on the restaurant theme. So Schnitzel Haus is officially back. They opened on May 4th, and you remember from previous episode, they had moved from 5th Avenue to their new location on Bay Ridge Avenue. And this is the former Casa Pepe site, so we wish Schnitzel Haus all the best. I think the community is really rallying behind it. I'm just happy to see a neighborhood adjusting with the times and not just shutting down outright. So respect to Schnitzel Haus, the whole crew. We wish them well. And they're looking to hit the ground running with events and hosting things. I know your boy Tommy Eyebrows is going to be there hosting bingo next week. So this is a true comeback story. So Schnitzel Haus, we wish you all the best in your new location and look forward to stopping by sometime soon. Another restaurant we need to mention is Iguazu Bar and Bistro. So this is a new Brazilian and Argentinian restaurant from the same owners of Sarava Bistro. And this is located on 92nd and 4th. So this is a location that's kind of struggled, I think, in years past. So you had Daddy-O's BBQ for a little bit. And before that, I think it was Gustavo, Greek spot. So, it's a great location. It's a corner location. You have the train station right next to it. So hopefully that, when you're coming in from New York City, you need a nice dinner, or maybe you're meeting up with your hubby or your wifey for a date. Now you have a new option right available to you. So Brazilian Argentinian fusion steakhouse. But if it's anything like the original location of Sarava, I think they're going to knock it out of the park. And looking forward to checking this place out. And I know we're probably well past our time here, so we're just going to hit you with the quicker hits now. So Chip Cafiero, he's being honored by the Merchants of 3rd Avenue on Friday, May 15th at 6:30 p.m. This is at Greenhouse Cafe. Now, if you're wondering who is Chip, well, you probably know him. If you've ever enjoyed a 3rd Avenue or 5th Avenue event, the Ragamuffin Parade, the Summer Stroll, 3rd Avenue Festival, 5th Avenue Festival. This is the man that was kind of behind the scenes and sometimes in front of the scenes. You may have seen him with the red festival marshal shirt walking around, making sure everyone's having a great time, making sure everything is going to plan. For 50 years, Chip has kind of given his all to the neighborhood, running events. It's time for us to show up for him and show him the proper send-off, as he's looking to not officially retire completely, but maybe do away with some of the 3rd Avenue events. I think he's still going to be focusing on some of the 5th Avenue events. But Chip is a lifelong Bay Ridge resident, and you can actually attend the event. So you can buy tickets to the send-off and celebrate Chip and thank him for everything he's done. Again, that's Friday, May 15th at 6:30 p.m. at the Greenhouse Cafe. You can check out Merchants of 3rd Avenue for tickets and information on that. Bay Ridge Podcast is sponsoring the event as a thank you to Chip and everything he's done. Look, I've been going to Summer Stroll for 15 years, Ragamuffin Parade, I've gone and marched in as a kid, and I brought my own kids there. So that tells you something about all the things that this man has done for the community. So happy to sponsor that one. And if you're looking for a nice hangout at Greenhouse Cafe, that might be the one. And speaking of events, the Norwegian Day Parade is coming up. That's going to be scheduled for Sunday, May 17th at looks like 1 p.m., 1 to 5 p.m., which I think is a different start time than usual. But the route, it's going from 85th Street and 3rd Avenue. It marches along 3rd, then turns up 75th Street and continues to 5th Avenue and ends at 67th Street. So kind of a zigzag pattern. You get to see a little bit of the neighborhood. It's an event that celebrates the neighborhood's Scandinavian roots. So that's been going on. That's a tradition for quite some time. and that should be a great event. And then something that Chip has his hands all over, no doubt, is the Fun on Fifth Festival, which is coming on May 31st. So that's a Sunday. That's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you've been to the 3rd Avenue Festival, it's kind of the same deal on 5th Avenue. And I think this is the 32nd year that this is being hosted. It runs from 69th Street to 85th Street. And, it's going to be a great day. You're going to have rides, you're going to have artists, you're going to have merchants, you're going to have tables outside, music, vendors, and that's always a wild time. So that's May 31st. And then I alluded to it earlier, but if you're scrambling for a Mother's Day gift, Sweet Streets of Brooklyn is having a Mother's Day pop-up at Amanda Jean on Friday, May 8th. So if you walk past, you'll probably see her table. Great gifting opportunities. She always does a great job with the bow and box, and it's just a little something different, or maybe a nice add-on to the flowers to show mom an appreciation. Or if you are just craving some sweets, maybe you keep a box for yourself. Check out the chocolate sea salt cookie, and check out the Ridge as well. We had that cookie at Pizza Wars, and it was pretty tasty. And then finally, if you're still with us, if anyone is still out there, I just want to give a quick update on the Staples story that we ran with last episode. This is the redevelopment proposal for the 11-story building. You have a public hearing May 18th. That's a Monday at 7 p.m. at Bay Ridge Center. This is your chance, if you agree, if you don't agree, with this redevelopment, to show up, because whereas CB10 doesn't have the most amount of pull in terms of whether this goes or does not, if the community shows up in force, we can be a force to be reckoned with. So I know some people are for it, some people are against it. Let me know how you feel down in the comment section. Sound off. Traffic, schools, is it too close to the firehouse? Traffic on Verrazano Bridge, it's gigantic. We love Staples. I don't know what. But let me know in the comments. Shoot me a DM. And look, I think I've taken too much of your time already. That's all I have. Greg, great job with the pictures today. That's all I have for you. If you liked the episode, if you liked the show, make sure to drop a comment, give us a like. And again, on Apple Podcasts, I think my ex is listening, so she keeps downvoting me. Someone's out there. So give me a nice 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Let's get that rating up. And this way more eyes can fall on this type of content. So as always, this has been Nick. This is the Bay Ridge Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks. You take care now.